Gentlemen, today I felt like just making fun of an idiot on the internet because for some reason people still have these dog shit mentalities. For some reason they're like really old too. So today we're covering this smarty pants over here, Andypants gaming, who you may have seen on the YouTuber Diesel Patches channel because he was throwing a little temper tantrum. So I'm gonna give some exposition. Help you real quick. So this guy first blew up when making a video entitled "Who Killed Masculinity in Video Games," and pretty much the whole video is because modern games have women and gay people and like representation, that means it's bad. Like apparently that's all that means to them. And that a lack of men in games, specifically the white straight men, is apparently bad for the industry. And he makes a lot of like stupid points. I recommend if you wanna, get started on his original video that blew up here, watch this guy Rennie. His video, he makes a lot of good points. I'm not gonna say all of them are good, but he does make quite a few good points. He is also known to not bring any valid points to the table most of the time, and instead will choose to insult the opposition in hopes, I don't know, they have like the same ego as him and they just crumble. I suppose he does that here too. He wears women's clothing, and the insecure one checks out. He's wearing a sweater. What what is the point there? He is literally just wearing a sweater. I mean, I guess because he's he's in a sweater and women wear less. I literally have no idea what the point is. He also did a debate with the Actman, and I actually went through the effort of watching the full hour of it. It is absolutely nothing. He does nothing but present a bunch of I gotcha moments to the Actman, but then when the Actman actually claps back and is like, "Oh, here's a point," he does like three things: deflect slash change the conversation, like half answer him, or I mean that's pretty much it. I don't even know why I said a third. He has like two auto responses. And I will give I do like to give people genuinely credit where there is credit. At the end of that debate, he and Ahmed do actually have a cohesive conversation for the last 5 minutes where they both talk about the fallen games, and he actually goes for that about 5 minutes without saying some sort of like fucking buzzword like woke. Which, keep in mind, if you were playing a drinking game and you took a shot every time he said the word woke, you would probably be dead about halfway through this video. Because Jesus Christ, this man says the same word. You'd think he's a fucking Pokemon with the amount of times he just says the same word. So I decided, you know what? I've looked through this video. I'm going to play it just straight through, and I'm going to react to it, make as many points as I can, give him credit where credit is due. Uh, and yeah, I'll just try and go through it. I might skip through most of this because most of this is admittedly a slog where he just kind of makes weird points. Like, yeah, anyways, I'm just gonna go through it.
Ago, I had the Act Man on my stream to have a casual chat about wokeness in video games.
Oh wait, also forgot to mention, uh, he has this banner, the most cringe ass banner. I can't ignore the tunes in my comment sections. Ever since I said they couldn't make it as a man, they've been big mad. What is this for? Not only first grader sentence. First of all, why are you using the fucking Giga Chan? I don't want to say this. I'm gonna use this more as much as you say look, which is very disappointing. Cringe? Please stop. And for those who don't know, because I had to search this the fuck up, Prune is just a slur for trans people. He's also known
So a
for
few
doing that. He called Diesel Patches a faggot because apparently he has nothing better insults to do. And also on that, I forgot to mention that he literally copyright struck his own debate that was quoted with the Ackman because the Ackman put it on his own channel. It's very stupid. So yeah, and anyone with like a sensible mind already just doesn't want to deal with this buffoon. But I've decided I'll take the
few weeks
plunge
ago, I had the Act Man
and
on
react
Becoming
to this.
Uglier. He denied that games are becoming less masculine, and he denied that games are becoming more woke. He denied that games are becoming less masculine, and he
Uh, yeah, these are the points that he constantly brings up, but are kind of just meaningless. Yeah, you'll see what I'm talking about.
denied that games are becoming more woke. A few days later, he made a video making fun of the idea that there was wokeness in games and got absolutely bodied
Um, it's funny that he says bodied, but at the current moment, the video has 42K dislikes. I'm not an expert with math, ratios, and considering the fact that I checked this earlier today, 6 hours ago, um, I think it's safe to say Andy doesn't know what he's talking about. Also, every game is woke. Yeah, it's because if you actually were to watch the video, Andy, you would realize that most of the things in the video he was pointing out were completely warped ways to look at wokeness in video games and are actually ways that you point out quote unquote wokeness throughout just gaming.
by his followers. Finally, I invited the Act Man to come back on my stream and have an actual debate, and of course, he pussied out and canceled.
You say actual debate. Yeah, that's because you didn't have a debate last time. All you did was just wet your pants and yap the whole time. You presented like nothing factual in your debate. That's why he doesn't want to debate you again.
So whatever, y'all. I'm done with the guy. I'm just glad he finally exposed himself as the homo that
Finally, June 30th, 2019. Come on, man. You can do a little
he
better.
is. But the real thing I want to talk about in this video is this simple question: are games becoming more woke? Just in case anybody disagrees with this simple fact, I'm making a video to show you the most egregious examples of the woke cancer infecting video games. So first off, we need to define woke, politically liberal
I'm just gonna leave this for a second. I want to spare you from hearing his voice.
reasonable or extreme. Wokeness contains false ideologies within it: Marxism, critical race theory, intersectionality, and many others. But what
Yeah. Note that he says radical feminism because all of those are radical extremes. That is not the majority of the left. I would at least hope so. That isn't the majority. It's
what is wokeness really about? At the bottom of their hearts, woke people hate anything that is good.
you can clearly tell by this rate he doesn't know what he's talking about. Also, the use of like AI images and the Giga Chat again. He loves to harp on these type of things. So they hate anything normal, which isn't true like within the slightest. You can totally still be LGBTQ or whatever else and still be like Christian, as you show in this image of a church. They can still be gay, but still work out, be very masculine. They don't have to flaunt it every 4 seconds. The people you're being like I don't like to use these terms, but you're being a very far right, attacking the very far left. Both of you are very niche parts of these wider groups that literally do not want to be related to any of you.
Beautiful, and true. Woke people hate beautiful women. They hate
How? In what way? If woke people hate beautiful women and woke people are LGBTQ lesbians, I think it would be math, like that they want someone they consider like a 10, like a 10 out of 10. Like what's the point there? How do they hate church and family? How? Again, you can still be gay and go to church. You can still be gay but support your current family, or I don't have a family technically. Like I don't understand how this in any ways defies like these ideologies.
Hate masculine men. They hate healthy sexuality. They hate designing a character
Oh no, guys. I can't have inflation in my video games. Must be whoa. I mean, yeah, but it's like character customization. Who really cares that much? You're there to play the game. If that's your only rebuttal here, I can't give her honker donkers. Then move on with your life, man. There's a website just for titties called Pornhub. You can go on there. I'm sure you can find a ton of games on Steam that allow you to go way beyond that, more. Just saying, man.
creator where this is the biggest butt you can have and this is the biggest chest you can have.
Again, how, who cares? You'll notice this along with this point and a lot of other stuff, like him saying they don't want to make one beautiful anymore. He tends to see what the vibe I get from these is he sees women as nothing more than a sex object, a vessel to carry his child, or just to spend in one night stand with. He kind of brings this point up a lot. He is very much a believer in the traditional, like, man is breadwinner, woman stay home with kids and clean house, that sort of thing. That's not to say there's anything wrong with that. If you want that to be your family, go for it. I do not care. But it's one thing to want that, and then it's another thing to almost attack people for not having that same ideology as you. Almost kind of comes across like weird. Like you're attacking people. You're you're literally attacking people who are mad at you for not believing their ideology. So you're attacking those people by forcing on your ideology as well. It is literally just like misery for both sides. You're literally doing the same thing as one
Have on a
another.
woman. It's obvious the people who made this hate attractiveness in females and in.
No, just untrue.
Again, Andrew, isn't the whole woke movement built upon creating more diversity, equity, and inclusion? Well,
I'm sure any movement, if you get down to the core, is just about like power. If you were to kind of think about it, but also, I mean, yeah, that is the main point. Yeah, you're very like cherry picking about what you want. Just like, come on, man. That is what it's about, and that is what a lot of people think. And it's not only just equality for oppressed groups, but also so they can be the same plane as those who are not. It's not that hard to figure out, man.
that's the genius of it. Woke people say they love representation and equality while only pushing for acceptance by a small group of people. When they talk about equality, I like to ask them this question: are white men included?
Because white men are already considered equal. They're already considered the highest part by other certain people. White people are considered like the highest, like a level. They're level 100. But also, yes, they do, because in fact, this guy seems to think that you can only, like, sometimes he'll say like black lesbians or like shit like that. He seems to forget that gay people can also be white. Like I feel sometimes. Like yes, white people can like be oppressed if they're some other group somebody hates. Not that hard to wrap your head around.
Included in the woke movement's definition of diversity? No. Are religious people included in the woke?
Yes, they are included because it's equality for everybody. Like not like 99% sure it's equality for everybody. What is your point here? They're just like, oh, because it's not focused on that much, that automatically means again, it feels like you're trying to speak on behalf of people. And then it's just God.
Woke movement's definition of diversity? No. Are big breasted, beautiful women included in the woke movement's definition of diversity?
What? I can't even tell what you're saying. That's how insane you sound. It's not, yes, they aren't included. I'm pretty sure. I don't know why you seem to have this thing where you think they're out for beautiful people. That literally has nothing to do with it. Is so off topic. That would be like me asking, teacher, what's your opinion on alligators? And they say, I fucking hate pigeons. Like, what? Makes no sense.
Diversity? No. So it turns out woke people actually hate diversity because they despise these groups of people and leave them out of games. To prove
I mean, I guess that some people, but also because those groups of people aren't as considered as big, I guess, by some others.
to you that these people hate white men, the CEO of Sweet Baby Inc., a video game consultancy, recently said this. Also, I don't know why games featuring human characters are still so white and male. Like, imagine the CEO of Microsoft being like, why are people in games so black now? So there's a
Yeah, because that's an insane statement from both parties. I'm sorry that not everyone is as insane as this person. He seems to think everyone is as insane as this person. That is a weird thing to say. Like, why? Why would you ever say that? Especially in like public. That's a weird thing for you to say. I will agree with you on that. That is a weird thing to say. But once again, that is not everybody. He seems to think that everyone on the left or is woke is this like fucking frontier warrior who has these extreme ideologies.
obvious need to shoot down your white woke organization. Imagine any company sirs who was a game video that Ubisoft has a mentorship. So guys,
And
as it
again,
turns
like,
out, the people who rally the hardest against racism and sexism are actually the most racist and sexist.
who would have thought? That's what are called radicalists. Huh. Who would have thought? Just the same way you're calling for just like no, none of these gay people or colored people or whatever. I don't know. I don't think he calls for the removal of colored people. He seems to oddly focus on them a little. But the same way he acts for removing the left crowd, the LGBTQ crowd, the same way he's calling for them to be removed, he's saying the way they call for what white people to be removed or straight people to be removed. You're literally your own enemy.
Oops! This clip from a PragerU video also
I'm gonna spare you from having to listen to PragerU. And for those who don't know how bad PragerU is, they're literally asking for a statue to be erected of a Confederate leader in one of the videos, and it's just bad in general. But it's pretty much just like, oh, no matter what you do, you're a big racist. You're a big racism.
even if you try to not be sexist, you're being sexist. This is why these people are so useless and evil is because
No, no one thinks that. think this man, also he seems to use these sort of like modern slang terms a lot, like beta cuts, you know, I'm the Giga Chad. Again, these videos of his constantly just feel like fucking buzzwords.
Everything you do according to guys, at the end of the day, this is about power, right? They think by calling you racist or homophobic, they have some kind of power over you. But the joke's on them. Racist and homophobe are words we laugh at now.
Yeah, because they have entirely lost meaning the same way you use the word woke a gajillion times. It has completely lost meaning.
Because they try to make this statement in one of his recent videos. Oh, I guess everything is woke now, huh? So everything is just woke. This is what's known as a straw man fallacy.
Yeah, uh, I mean, that's pretty much what you're saying. Yeah, I don't even know if you can call this a straw man argument because that's pretty much what you're saying right now.
And it isn't actually an argument. If you lived in a town that was flooding and somebody said, "Why are you using the word flood so much? I'm so tired of hearing that word." Well, we use the word flood because it describes what is happening right now.
No, you use the word woke because it's a buzzword. It's like moths to a fucking light. It's just like they're attracted to it, you know. Yeah, it's like they're throwing a it's like they're throwing food at someone who's been starving for a week, like and they're drawn to it. Also, that's kind of entirely, I guess, this is one of those technically right, technically wrong situations. Like, yes, he is technically right. That would be weird to describe a flood by calling it a flood over and over. That again, technically right, technically wrong. Not sure how to correctly
Now,
explain it, but
more importantly,
you get what
why are you defending gay ass propaganda?
I'm not defending gay cooking developers. First of all, why the fuck are you seem to also have the same point towards game developers. Uh, Game developers aren't the one who make the decisions. It's the higher ups. The people who are making this game are just forced to put it out on this deadline, otherwise they're not paid or get less paid. There's a reason why crunch time is bad. You seem to place a lot of emphasis on this is the game developer's fault instead of blaming the higher ups at studios for some reason. It's really weird.
In video games. All right, so I hope I've done a good job of explaining generally what wokeism is. Now, where do we see ways replacing
And he gives this chart here. Again, entirely useless point. Replacing male characters with female ones. I mean, I guess. Moving masculinity and masculine characters, thoughtlessly cramming in as many minority as possible, getting the fun to push current messages, softening water down, and removing anything controversial. Now, I will say, I agree with, I guess, these three. I don't really care. I mean, I guess if your history of a story or game is, hey, we're historically accurate, and then I'm playing like a World War I simulator, World War II simulator, and then suddenly I see a guy flying on a hoverboard. Yeah, I guess I might be a little pissed. But changing, but but I mean, I guess if you're like, but later he says in the video like, oh, Battlefield 5 bad because you can play as women. Women weren't on the front lines in World War II. Like, okay, yeah, but like, who cares? Who cares if your character is male or female or not? You're just there to shoot a bunch of fuckers whom you hate because they're on the enemy team. And I can get softening or watering down, removing anything controversial. I think that is a very fair statement. Unless it's like something that's like very bad, like very, very bad. I don't think media should really be tampered with in that sort of way. And thoughtlessly cramming in as many minorities as possible. Yes, I do agree. A lot of companies seem to have this idea that, hey, if we put in like LGBTQ or people on here, it's a good thing. People will just buy it, you know. They seem to have this idea that if they put this in the game, it'll improve it. It'll make more people flock to it, which isn't the case. and it's something that because just because you put in eye candy doesn't necessarily make the game you're putting out good. I don't really like special months like Pride Month or whatever, not because I hate LGBTQ, but because they're not really a way to celebrate anymore for the most part. It just feels like they're a way for companies to make money. Like Mother's Day, for example. It's like, okay, it feels like you're obligated by morality to get your mother something nice, which I mean you should be doing either way, but it's like all this ads and cramming in your face.
Male characters with
So I
female
can't see that point.
characters in order to virtue signal. Number 3, remove blindly 5, 6. Track the increase sweep 2004, 2014, and 2024.
Uh, yeah. Uh,
You can check critically acclaimed
I'll let
giveaways
him
from
explain.
2004, 2014, and 2024. You can check my math below and see the games I picked for.
Okay, I wasn't able to get the clip correctly, but what he's trying to say is, you can see by this chart, the less men there are in games, the worse they became. Have you ever been to school like once? Correlation doesn't equal causation. I think even like literal babies know that. Literal babies know correlation doesn't equal causation. That's such a moot point. It's like, I guess, because you present this graph with literally only like three things going on, that clearly means you're correct. Oh,
2014
thank
and
you, Mr.
2024.
Andy.
You can check my Matthew Dragon 3, etc. Pink bar as if the game character went down. Games.
And
Let's talk about
he also takes a lot of time explaining absolutely nothing.
12 games that 2013 was a heartfelt and masculine journey for its main character Joel. It was one of the best-selling games and regarded as one of the greatest games of all time. With The Last of Us 2 in 2020, the director took a different approach. Joel is killed within the first hour of the game because, men are bad. He is replaced with Ellie, who flaunts her broken sexuality and is in a relationship with a woman. I honestly didn't mind the first half of the game, but the last half is disgusting. For the last 20 hours of the game, you're expected to play as Abby, Ellie's mortal enemy. She's a really mannish and disgusting girl boss character, and there's a nasty sex scene with her cuck boyfriend. So the first game was about masculinity, bravery, honor, defending a young girl, and the second game is about lesbians, being a cuck, and mannish chicks with big arms.
So what it entirely sounds like is your summary is weird. So the thing is, you're pointing out a good story and a bad story. It feels like you literally explained to me why that story sucks. But instead of giving me that, you just said, "Oh, lesbian women, huh, la bad." Like, it's so weird. God, Jesus Christ, I'm more of this shit.
This game hits woke checkboxes
How does this sit
number
ugly
1,
women?
number 2, number 3, and 4. Gears of War.
How? You didn't even explain point number one. How it makes them look ugly. So they're just immediately, or just again, literally, that is such a moot point. Anyways, who
The
cares?
Gears of War games in the 2000s were always about masculinity, a common purpose, and brotherhood. It's a very male focused story, so it was odd when the cucks at Microsoft made Kate Diaz the main character of the story now. Instead of exploring themes of brotherhood and duty like the game did before, since 2016 the game is primarily about femininity, sisterhood, and when our periods happen. So yeah, Gears of War went woke and it sucks now.
You can still make a good story out of that. I mean, you didn't really explain what was wrong with the story. You kind of just said women main character now. That's bad. You can still make a good story out of sisterhood. You're not bringing any valid points to the table once again.
Woke checkboxes number. Saints Row was very similar to GTA, but instead of being by yourself, the Julie Bum place every single reboot in 2022 seemed to think it was a good idea to replace every single character from this celebrated series with a bunch of gay dudes with their shirts off, ugly lesbians, girl bosses, and
Why again? What is your fixation on saying ugly women? Again, can you explain to me that? Again, this just feeds more into the women are nothing more than sex objects for me to nut in, time energy. I mean, again, he's a grifter. He doesn't buy into anything he's saying. I mean, that's kind of obvious, hopefully, to anybody. I just think it's funny to make fun of him.
trans people. Like, huh? Nobody has ever understood their audience worse than whoever took control of the Saints Row reboot. The fans were noticeably upset when this stuff started to leak, and instead of Volition changing, they doubled down. And now the studio is closed.
Maybe because they wrote horrible characters, and it doesn't have to do with the fact that they're lesbian, trans, or gay. I mean, possibility. I mean, I haven't played Saints Row Reboot because I actually spent my money on college things. Maybe, just maybe that's the case.
Halo was one of the games that got me back into video games in 2004, so I was really stoked to see the woke mind virus taking it over now. Here's Cortana in Halo 4. Here's Cortana in Halo Infinite.
Oh, woe is me, less booba. Oh no, Halo's gone woke. There's less boob. Oh no, truly a sad day for Halo fans. Uh, yeah, I'm glad you focused on this about the dip in quality since like Halo 5 or whatever. I mean, I don't own an Xbox. I don't play Halo, but I definitely know the series has been in the gutter, and this is the most of your concern, not the series like it's like Cortana's tits. God.
Yeah. They also disabled party chat by default in Halo Infinite because, people are soft and can't handle reality now.
Uh, you wouldn't last 1 minute in a Call of Duty lobby in the 2000s. Again, not understand this point. God, so cringe. And it's like, okay, then so be it. Also, I think that has to do more with parental controls. Like, as funny as it is to see a kid get yelled at, uh, I think most people would not like that, to be honest. Also, I, if you've seen any game with a free chat like that, like Counter-Strike or like TF2, yeah, I think it's honestly good. Some of the people in those chats are insane and like spam random stuff. I think it is a little understandable. Not because people are soft, but because people can be genuinely creepy, weird, or scammers.
They killed off funny characters like Avery Johnson. Also, if you look through the armor skins available to you in Halo Infinite, it's full of this kind of garbage. Like,
Oh, oh no, guys, I can't play Halo anymore. Master Beef is orange. Holy shit, guys, I can't play Halo. He's orange. Oh no, guys, this is the color of the rainbow. Oh no, it's not gonna come back to me. I'm going back in the cryopod. I'm making a time machine, going back in time. Oh no. Where do we go? All go so wrong where it could be a blue Master Chief. Oh no.
like International Black Lives. This is my Master Chief with a Trump helmet.
Alrighty. Alrighty. Alrighty, buddy. I'm not even gonna talk about Trump. Um, one, I don't want anything surrounding him because he is a fucking shit show. And two, I don't want this comment section to turn into a fucking war zone over that. So I'm gonna leave that as is.
Like, for some reason, they left that out. Why do y'all think that is? And again, talk about just not under. Oh, dude, sick international women filled with homosexual men. I've established this before. But a broken clock is still field games. But in 2018, they done goofed. They took what had been, up until this point, a pretty realistic and accurate war.
Ooh, cry about it. What else do you want me to say? Literally, what else do you want me to say? Who women are in your World War II shooter game doesn't really matter that much. Does the enemy playing as a woman suddenly change the game? Does that suddenly make it worse? If I buy Metroid Prime and I meet Samus and the Samson, does that make the game better? Riddle me this. You brought up this flip flop argument when it came to hiring employees. Are you gonna bring it here now? Huh? Huh? Oh, I didn't fucking think so.
game, and they added women, black girl bosses, and lesbians for no reason front. But Field 5 objections talking about how Wolfenstein. I'll get right to the point with this one. Wolf 2014 is a very mass 17 is a woke abortion full of communist propaganda, Marxist messages, feminism, and inclusion. I also found Wolf 2 to just not be nearly as good of a game, are both really solid games without basically absolute fever pitch with Wolfenstein Youngblood. Guys, watch some clips of this game and you'll see what I mean. They replaced BJ Blazkowicz, an absolute unit and Chad and badass, with his two daughters. And they need to play cards and write in their blog about it the first time they kill somebody. Like, dude, come on. Also, the game
Okay, so let's say hypothetically in this scenario, I swap these two characters with two 20-something dudes, and they're on the front lines, as you say, for the first time, and they write a letter home to mom. Does that automatically make the game worse, less masculine? Hmm? Sounds like the kind of just wrote shitty characters, huh? Almost like you're ignoring that one glaring factor that they just wrote shitty characters and make shitty game. Crazy idea, I know.
gameplay was just really, really bad. I tried the game. It was just an absolute. Then they absolutely butchered one of the greatest masculine characters of all time, Batman. In 2009, 2011, and 2015, Rocksteady had built up a reputation for making incredible Batman games, one of the greatest video games of all time. So, what did they do? Well, they butchered the gameplay, of course, and turned it into the most generic, sad, third person slop shooter you've ever played.
Wow, he's doing something right for once. He's calling out the game for being bad. Let's see how long it takes him to fuck it up.
They replaced all the characters with lesbians, girl bosses, and minorities.
Oh, and there we go. The buzzwords once again. It took him, what, like 2 seconds? I don't even care who was counting. It happened so fast.
And of course, there's all kinds of queer inclusion flags and
Oh no, guys. I can't play the bad Suicide Squad game. Suicide Squad game. I can't play no more. Because they put a pride flag. Oh noes.
equality flags. White man's favorite franchise, Arkham game from these guys. And in the first three Dragon Age games, you know they're full of heterosexual romance, attractive outfits for sexy women, and tons of boys enjoying
Oh, okay, sorry, back to the Dragon Age argument. Once again, doesn't really matter. Who cares? Who really cares that much?
themselves. You know,
Pretty sure he literally said he like didn't even know it. Oh yeah, this is the stupidest
game
one, huh?
now
Ignore
and
this
nobody
portion or
wants
whatever
it.
he's talking about.
Zelda. This one is very short. The Zelda games have always had a male protagonist, but of course, woke Nintendo had to ruin that. The new Zelda game stars Princess can do everything herself. Fallout New Vegas
Oh no, guys, they made one spin-off game where it's Zelda on her own, even though it has no woke message, and and there's literally an in-game plot reason for it. Oh no, guys, Zelda's woke because you got her own fucking game. Jesus Christ.
Vegas, as I've said many times, is one of the edgiest and best games of all time. I mean, you can roleplay as the bad guys if you want. In Fallout 3, you can literally enslave kids. But of course, as all woke games do, because people's fifis got hurt, they have to remove this stuff. What is there to say about Fallout 7?
Um, go and remove that stuff, huh? Yeah. I mean, as much as I love bringing new ways, I don't think slavery is the finest of wine. I don't think most people don't genuinely feel good about that. And I'm playing as the bad guy. I mean, maybe it's just because Fallout 76 is a poorly designed game. I mean, you ever consider that? I mean, Fallout 76 is broken on release. God damn it. Fallout 76 just isn't like a good game, especially when they had to fix the bugs. I mean, now I've heard it's like all right. That's about it.
76 that hasn't been said already. It is a woke, bland cash grab with loads and loads of dull, inoffensive characters with
Again, oh no, guys, can't play 76, even though I don't know why you'd want to play 76. I can't play 76, guys. They have a rainbow flag. Can you believe it, fellas? Can you believe it?
absolutely no perspective on any tons of hot in every piece of Spider-Man media for 30 years. It turns out the bright MJ with tons of gay flags everywhere. Spider-Man 2. Despite MJ being smoking hot in every piece of Spider-Man media for 30 years, it turns out the broken gay Satanists who work at Sucker Punch know better than us chuds. In Spider-Man 28,
Fuck you guys. I swear every sentence this man says gets worse and worse and worse. You know that shitty ass question where it's like, would you rather be in the woods with a bear or a man? I feel like when women are asked that question, they choose the bear. That they envision this man, just the absolute scum of the earth, the worst person possible. And if that's the case, I do agree with them. I'd much rather be in a fucking forest in the middle of the woods with a bear than with fucking Andypants. I'd rather die than be in the woods with Andypants. Yeah, I forgot also he makes another argument. Oh no, MJ doesn't look conventionally attractive. She doesn't have big inflation ass and booba. Oh no, guys, how else am I supposed to play Spooderman too?
18, Mary Jane was unattractive, and then they at her huge games. All of these evil people just want to like self-insert themselves in games, it seems.
Sounds like you just want to self-insert your own egotistical fueled version of yourself into every game. Just saying. So that's some other shit about old remakes.
While I'm sure
He he complains about an ass not being as big in Mass Effect again. Can't play a game with the ass that's not as big. Classic saying. Complains about Dead Space remake being woke. He mentions like random. I haven't played the Dead Space remake. I don't think anyone ever has mentioned the Dead Space remake being woke. So I'm not really sure what the fuck he's yapping on here. Yeah, I think also in this he credits a Steam forum for pointing out all the woke stuff. Or maybe it was in the Dead Rising one. Either way, why are you trusting the Steam community forums? They have some of the worst takes known to man. So Dead Rising rank, oh no. Talks about Dustborn, Concord, Apex. And admittedly, Apex is a decent game. I've only played it a couple times, but I understand this place. People like it. I'm not here to shame you if you like it or not. That doesn't really know what content has. Uh, I haven't heard of Dustborn before, which honestly just I can't tell if it's just because there was a promotion for it, or if the game just kind of sucked balls. Either way, I haven't heard of Dustborn. Concord sucks dick. Um, he wrote Apex twice. Never heard of Flintlock Siege or Dawn. So to me, it kind of just sounds like all these games either suck ass. Like, I mean, the main problem with Apex is that the anti-cheat
we
sucks.
got Apex,
He ran some more that, oh no, woke people are reasoning that no one cares about the woke games, more bullshit argument. Yeah, yeah. I'm not even, I don't even think I listened, I don't even think I finished the video. I think that's how bad it was, guys. I'm just gonna end shit here.